So guys, we are back, and this is that series I was on about in the last video. But yeah, and I'm sorry for not uploading for a while. I've had no ideas to upload. But yeah, this is that series I was on about, and if you read the title, what the series is going to consist of, what this series is going to consist of, right? It's seeing as two of my most popular videos are related to the Beatles. I thought I would return to the topic. Not that I'm begging for views or anything, right? But yeah, I thought I'd return to the topic of the Beatles and go through every album and just rank the songs from those albums. And I'm gonna start from the video where I was ranking the Beatles albums from worst to best. And so, of course, we'll start from Yellow Submarine and end on Revolver. So yeah, without further ado, let's go on with a list. Honourable mention, George Martin's composition for the film. So, starting off with an honourable mention, George Martin's compositions. All are going to go in like just the same sort of pile, really, but they're not bad to say, but they're not Beatles songs. Of course, George Martin was probably the fifth Beatle, as people know. But again, not really Beatles songs, are they? Not to say there's any bad ones, really. I do kind of like Yellow Submarine Returns to Pepperland, though I do think that is credited to Lennon McCartney, but that's still going in the pile of the honourable mentions. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say for this honourable mention of George Martin's compositions. At 4, it's All Together Now. And starting the actual list off with, I'm not really that good of a song, really. It's obviously the worst song on this album, and it shows, like, All Together Now, it's too repetitive, and it's just goes nowhere, really, doesn't it? It's more of a sea shanty, and I mean, it's very fitting to the album, I think, because, of course, Yellow Submarine, you're at sea, it's sea shanty, you know. But yeah. Oh yeah, also another thing before I move on, I won't be including Yellow Submarine, that'll be saved for Revolver. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say for that. But yeah, All Together Now, too repetitive, it's catchy in a bad way, but it's just there, really. It's probably the most forgotten Beatles song of all time, innit? But that's all I really have to say about the song. Not really that good of a song, but just meh, really, innit? At 3 is Only a Northern Song. I know I didn't mention this, but I'm not going to include All You Need Is Love as well. But yeah, number 3 is Only a Northern Song, and it's a really good song. Well, not really good, it's good. But, and as I said, I included it in the most underrated Beatles songs, which I did put in yeah, which is on my channel. You can watch that now if you want, or after this video. But yeah, Only a Northern Song, it's quite a good song, I think, and very good psychedelic song. Of course, George Harrison, the best writer from the Beatles in my eyes. But yeah, of course, I'm a really big fan of psychedelia, and this album is probably, I know it's short, but it's probably like second most psychedelic album. I don't know what the first one is, probably like Rubber Soul or Revolver. But yeah, it's like a really decent song, and I don't get the hate behind it, really. It does not get the hate it deserves, and that's basically all I have to say for this song, really. Really good song, do recommend. At 2 is It's All Too Much. Now, I believe this is the longest song on the list. It's All Too Much. Its length sort of brings it down. If it was shorter, I think this would be number 1 for Yellow Submarine, but you'll know what number 1 is if you know, you know. But, yeah, it's only, you know, It's All Too Much, sorry. It's a really good song. Again, another George Harrison song, best writer. And I think the lyrics are a lot better, which is, I think, why it's above Only a Northern Song. But, yeah, again, it's like a really good song, and it was like the finish to the film, and it's like the guitar riff at the start instantly hits you going into like sort of a mellotron sort of instrument. But, again, a decent little psychedelic song. Well, not a little, it's 5 minutes long, and which is above average, I think. But yes, and really think George Harrison has any really bad song except from maybe Your Blues, which I'm not too keen on. But yeah, a pretty good song by George Harrison, yeah. And number one, Hey Bulldog. And at number one, you all saw this coming, it's Hey Bulldog. Again, I think this is Blue Album worthy. I'm not sure if it is though. I'll go check. Okay, I've just checked. No, it isn't, but maybe on the newer version, I'll probably check after this video and put a thing here like I did with I Me Mine. But yeah, this is so worthy of like the original Blue album, you know, but I don't get why it isn't. And, you know, this is a really good song. I think, well, of course it's better than Revolution 9, of course, but I think it's better than a lot of other Beatles songs, like the older ones, but this also sort of gives off that sort of rock and roll sort of song. One thing I do think that swells it is that sort of like dog woofing and howling that they're doing like middle towards the end of the song. I think that kind of spoils it a bit, which I think why it's not that popular than any other Beatles songs, but yeah, it's still a pretty good song in my eyes, and obviously the best on this list. But yeah, that's technically it. I am not looking forward to when I do the White Album from this series, but yeah, I think, of course, next it's with the Beatles, I believe. Yeah, it is. But, I mean, it's a very short album, so, of course, very short video. And, of course, I've missed out 2 songs, plus I've generally... The thing that's brought this video up is probably the George Martin compilation things. But, yeah, with that said and done, thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Sorry it's very short. It's, of course, a very short album, as I just said. But, again, thank you very much for watching, guys. And see you in the next one.